Has Evolved Godzilla surpassed Ghidorah? That's a common question people ask since the release of the new Empire, and in this video I intend to find the answer. First, I want to look at Godzilla and Ghidorah's past battles to see how they compared then, and see how powerful Godzilla has gotten since then. Also, remember, if you guys subscribe, I will train my dog to finally edit my videos to get them out faster for y'all. Anyway, enjoy. In King of the Monsters, Ghidorah is awakened in the Arctic and is challenged by Godzilla. This battle is mostly one-sided as Ghidorah knocks Godzilla on his back not once but twice and easily dodges his atomic breath. It's not until the military shows up to bombard Ghidorah and Godzilla recovering that Ghidorah retreats. So yes, Godzilla won the battle itself, but it clearly showed Ghidorah as the superior combatant. This is made even more impressive when it's explained that Ghidorah was still confused and weakened after just waking up from hibernation, and it stated Ghidorah's wounds from Godzilla and Ghidorah's first battle in the ancient past were still visible. So a weakened Ghidorah was still shown to be superior to base Godzilla at this time. Speaking of Godzilla and Ghidorah's first battle, it's explained that Godzilla and Ghidorah had a battle in the ancient past when Ghidorah first arrived on Earth to claim new territory, and we're told Godzilla defeated Ghidorah and blasted him into the ice during the last ice age. That Shimo created and froze over Ghidorah, which is why he's frozen in Antarctica in King of the Monsters. Now, I don't doubt Godzilla defeated Ghidorah, but it obviously doesn't add up when we look at their battle in King of the Monsters, when Ghidorah, while weakened, easily overpowered Godzilla. So how did Godzilla beat him in the past, when he was weaker? Well, we see in the post-credit scene of Skull Island, the other cave paintings show us there were other titans helping Godzilla, like Mothra and Rodan, which makes complete sense since why else would Godzilla and Mothra grow a symbiotic relationship? And as we know, Alpha Titans can order and control the other Titans on Earth. Not to mention, it's pretty much confirmed Shimo was also there and was the one who froze Ghidorah, which is supported by Shimo willingly taking orders from Godzilla, and that Shimo's ice ages are created by Shimo's ice breath, and Ghidorah would have needed to be frozen very quickly before he would escape. So with all of this said, yes, Ghidorah was defeated in the past, but it took all of Earth's strongest titans to do it, and he still survived. Now in the next fight, Ghidorah had just defeated Rodan, and Godzilla jumps Ghidorah out of nowhere and drags him underwater. Most people downplay Ghidorah for his performance here, but there's a lot of important factors. It's obviously stated the water is Godzilla's natural territory and not Ghidorah's, as well as Ghidorah still not being at full power, and this results in Godzilla having the clear advantage, which leads to Godzilla ripping off one of Ghidorah's heads, and it's confirmed Godzilla would have killed Ghidorah here had the oxygen destroyer not heavily weakened him. However, we're shown Ghidorah did his fair amount of damage to Godzilla during the underwater battle, with Serizawa stating Godzilla is heavily damaged in his lair. This is not just from the oxygen destroyer, as we know Ghidorah and Godzilla are relative in durability, and Ghidorah took no physical damage from the oxygen destroyer due to his extraterrestrial origin, and is only damaged from Godzilla's attacks, meaning all the visible damage done to Godzilla was from Ghidorah. Now, in the Boston fight, Godzilla's radiation is significantly magnified due to Serizawa's sacrifice nuke, and is growing stronger and stronger to the point it's so uncontrollable his body won't be able to contain it and explode like an atom bomb. Godzilla's obviously far beyond his base form in this fight, and while yes, Godzilla has the advantage at first, once it's stated Ghidorah has reached his full power, they go back and forth. This is confirmed by Greg Keyes, who says before the power plant power-up, Godzilla and Ghidorah are pretty much equals. Ghidorah is also able to endure multiple blasts from Ghidorah's atomic breath with little damage. So full power Ghidorah is able to battle a Godzilla literally about to explode radiation. Then, obviously, once Ghidorah absorbs the power plant, the battle completely turns in his favor, needing Mothra to jump in, give Godzilla her energy, and create what is stated to be a very specific scenario to summon the burning Godzilla form and completely obliterates Ghidorah. So now that we know how powerful Ghidorah was, we need to know how powerful Godzilla got after King of the Monsters to see if he surpassed Ghidorah. In GVK and Godzilla Dominion, we're told Godzilla was still active because he needed to assert his dominance as the Alpha due to King of the Monsters events. Therefore, he wasn't able to recover from his battles against Ghidorah, leading to him being in a near-death state by 2021. And after he found a new layer, he only gets to recover until 2024 from a half-sleep due to him sensing Mechagodzilla. So 2024 Godzilla is very weakened and isn't at his peak power he was in King of the Monsters. Then, when we see Godzilla in the New Empire, we're told he was still active after Godzilla vs. Kong, and after he fought Scylla, he got to rest in the Colosseum, and he is now fully charged when he wakes, meaning he's likely at or above his base 2019 self that fought Ghidorah in the Arctic. Then Godzilla heads to France to charge up and store energy and is well above his base level, now being called Energized Godzilla. People like to say that he's at his nuke amp level here that he was in the King of the Monsters, but while this Godzilla is storing energy, he's never stated to be anywhere near nuke amp Godzilla, who was literally going to explode. Godzilla's body can obviously handle this energy, and people argue that Godzilla's energy capacity got better from 2019 to 2027. Therefore, he can handle it better now. However, that's mostly headcanon, and nothing official ever stated Godzilla's capacity got better until he evolves later in the New Empire. Some people even call this form Blue Thermo. However, as stated earlier, Burning Godzilla was a very specific scenario, and Energized Godzilla is stated to not be at supercharged levels. And the New Empire Godzilla doesn't supercharge until he absorbs Tiamat's layer. It's even stated in the novel that the energized form isn't nearly as extreme as Burning. Speaking of which, after Godzilla absorbs France's nuclear plant, he heads to Tiamat's lair, kills Tiamat, and absorbs all of the energy inside of it to supercharge, as well as absorb Tiamat's DNA and become Evolved Godzilla. This form amplifies Godzilla's radiation, burns his fat, making him lighter, increases his energy capacity by 20 times, and gains adaptive thermoregulation to counter Shimo's freezing abilities. While this form has a 20 times multiplier, it only multiplies his energy capacity, meaning Godzilla can store more energy and utilize it more before needing to recharge instead of amplifying the power of the energy, which is completely different, and meaning Godzilla has greater stamina, as Adam Wingard compares Godzilla gaining the evolved form as a Rocky-style training montage that builds his endurance rather than power. The only kind of official multiplier for the power of the evolved form is a 2 times amp. People believe the evolved form should be more powerful than the nuke amp due to nuclear power plants containing more radiation than nukes in real life, and Tiamat's lair being stated to be the largest stockpile of energy on the planet. However, we've seen Godzilla endure nukes before, and none of them have amplified him as much as Serizawa's nuke. This is explained by Monarch specifically modifying the nuke to give off as much radiation as possible, as Godzilla was their only hope. This is supported as in Dominion, we see the damage the nuke caused not only destroyed Godzilla's old lair, but opened a hole deeper into the hollow earth. So it's clear that Serizawa's nuke was not a normal nuke. As for the largest stockpile of energy on the Earth statement, notice that they specified it as the largest stockpile of energy on the planet, and not just the largest energy on the planet, or most potential or possible energy on the planet. As we've learned in the Monsterverse, nuclear weapons are very valuable to Titans. The entire reason the Mutos, Shinomura, and Godzilla resurfaced from the already radiation-rich Hollow Earth was because they wanted the radiation from the Hiroshima and Nagasaki nukes. Now, if Tiamat's lair was always there and always held this energy beyond anything on Earth, why wouldn't the Mutos, the Muto Prime, and other Titans have absorbed it by now? I say all that to say the evidence heavily leans in favor for Monsterverse nukes having far more potent radiation than nuclear power plants or Tiamat's lair. That's far more consistent. Now, Evolved Godzilla gets more powerful and eventually enters his spiral state and gains his spiral atomic breath, which is stated to be the most powerful atomic breath Godzilla's ever shot, and that Monarch has never seen radiation levels like this before. This would obviously put Spiral Godzilla at or above Nuke Amp Godzilla's level. Some people try to say Evolved should be Burning Godzilla level, however, Monarch only got readings on Nuke Amp Godzilla and had to leave due to damages. So Monarch isn't aware of readings on Burning Godzilla, which is consistent as Burning Godzilla never used his atomic breath, only his nuclear pulse. Shimo fights Evolved Godzilla in the New Empire and even endures Spiral Godzilla's beam, and it's straight up stated by Shimo's creator to be pretty much equal in strength to Ghidorah, meaning Ghidorah could likely endure Spiral Godzilla's beam just like Shimo, which is consistent as Ghidorah also endured Nuke Amp Godzilla's atomic breath, so the comparisons between Nuke and Evolved Godzilla are very warranted. People bring up statements in the novel where characters compare when Godzilla storing energy to fight Shimo to when Godzilla stored energy to fight Ghidorah, therefore they're at the same level of power. However, the characters are only comparing them due to the events being similar, not that the energy Godzilla is storing is at the same level. Keep in mind, the only times we've ever seen Godzilla store energy to fight other Titans is when he stored energy against Ghidorah and stored energies against Shimo, which is why they're comparing the two events, not because they're both on the same level of power. So has Evolved Godzilla surpassed Ghidorah? No, I don't believe so. While Evolved Godzilla is a powerful new form for Godzilla, he's only ever compared to Nuke Amp Godzilla when in his most powerful state, and as we know, Ghidorah was able to handle Nuke Amp and endure his amplified atomic breath. Evolved Godzilla would likely have more stamina, and the spiral atomic breath is likely more powerful than Nuke Amp Godzilla's breath, but we know Ghidorah is fast enough to simply dodge the beam when it's charging. Ghidorah also has regeneration, can create storms large enough to swallow entire Titans, can pick up Evolved Godzilla easier since he's lighter and drop him from the stratosphere. He can absorb Godzilla's energy and can spam his gravity beams faster. The only way you can argue Evolved Godzilla can tear through Ghidorah is if you believe Evolved Godzilla is Burning Godzilla level, which even the creator of the evolved form directly denied the notion, believing they're different, and continues comparing Evolved to Nuke Amp levels. I believe Ghidorah is too powerful, far too versatile, and there's not many ways Evolved Godzilla can put Ghidorah down, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you think I'm completely wrong, give me your arguments in the comments. Thanks for watching. My next video will likely be Monsterverse Godzilla vs. Showa Godzilla if I don't complete any of my other projects before then. Yes, there's more videos coming, so if you guys want to be notified, then subscribe.